This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Rodenbach. It is a wonderful ale, and me and my friends travel the world in search of bars and restaurants where they sell this thing. Why do we do it? Well, because we can, and also because I made a little application. This is a web application where you use geolocation to mention where you are, and then you can take a picture, enter the price, and score a point. We have a little leaderboard, there's push notifications, it's a lot of fun. And for me, it's always has been the perfect side project. It is small in scope, yet has a number of rich features to really figure out like, how would I do this? How would I approach this today? And I've been rewriting this since 2020. I think I'm at 5 rewrites at this point, and I always find some new interesting ways to switch technologies around, try new things, experiment, and support current thing really. And in this video, I'm gonna set the stage to do the next rewrite. So the way the application works is that you just go outside, find a pub where they sell the Rodenbach beer, take a picture, it's optional, but you can only add a location once, and all those who are present at the time of adding the location get a point, a little leaderboard, toasts, push notifications happen, stuff like that. So yeah, we're having a little bit of a competition. It's a lot of fun, and you can see already just using a map, there's geolocations. I can see where I currently am, for example. It's via the DevTools, it's just put placed on Brussels for now. And yeah, fun stuff, but we just make a sport out of this to hunt for a bar anytime we're abroad the country. So we're all Belgian based, but eventually we go to the United States even. So it's really a fun little thing. And it's just cool that my friends keep using it till this day. So if we go to overview, we have a little Instagram kind of feed where, pictures are added, how many days ago was the price, etc. Go to the detail page. It's all good fun. There's a little, this is like season 2 that we're doing. So this was the first initiative in 2020 till let's say 2020, 2024, that kind of period. But then all of a sudden, I felt like it was time to just start over again. It probably was just convenient to do in a migration, just like, let's do it again. And truth to be told, in 4 years time, maybe they just don't sell it anymore. So it was good to do a reset. When I want to add one, there's a little form I can enter. If we scroll in the form, there are like a couple of rules. You need to enter the price, you need to enter the name, and you cannot, you need to see which locations are close to you because you're not allowed to add a location twice. Of course, there's no automated way to counter this, but it's a fair game. These are all friends that I have that use the application, so this is just a bit of a trust thing. Then this is a question, is it a draft or not? And is anybody else present? Like if somebody else is present, then it just enter that name. I can upload a picture, for example, the avatar of my latest video. But you get the idea. We can add, we have a leaderboard, there are a couple of rules. There's a little admin section. If I want to add a user, I can do it right here. And if we look at push notifications, you can see that we have a little toast over here. And yeah, this now is a Firebase notification, but imagine on your phone, it's just actually a native push application. So let's take a look at a high level overview. How's this working today? It uses a Firebase backend. Firebase is a couple of things. It's a Google product, and one of them is like Firestore, which is a NoSQL database. You can have functions. So when we add a new location, there's a function that's actually going to trigger and then send the push notifications. We use storage from Firebase to upload the images. The website itself is also hosted there. The website itself was made as a React single page application using F# and Fable. And then the Firebase functions are also in JavaScript with F# and Fable as well. So this is the current situation. Next thing I want to explore would be like PocketBase, which is something written in Go where you're more going to work with a SQLite that's embedded in your application. You can extend PocketBase with Go code yourself, so it's very convenient. It also has like storage and hosting. And for the front end, I basically want to try React Server Components, and we're going to do this in ReScript. As you may have expected, React Server Components really is like the backend for frontend. So PocketBase has its API. So PocketBase will have a REST API, but we're not going to expose that directly to our end users. That's where Waku is coming in. So, basically trying new stuff. That's really what all these rewrites are about, and I'm curious to dig in. So of course, you might wonder, why do you want to swap? Well, Firebase in itself is kind of sketchy when it comes to security. I did put up Firebase security rules. I really, did my homework and did all the stuff so I won't get hacked. But it happens every month, 80. This is just an example of the latest hack that was rather popular with a dating app application. A lot of stuff can get exposed, and that's not what we want. Firebase also does not support a full text search, like give me all locations that start with the letter E, for example. You can't really do anything like that in your Firebase. So when they talk about full text search, Firebase just straight up tells you like, oh, you should check one of our third-party providers, Elastic, Algolia, TypeSense. And that just loses a lot of the charm, because you can use Firebase for almost everything, but then you need a paid service just if you want to do like a contains-like query on the back end. There are ways around this. There's like an article about what you can do with full text search. And first option really is like, okay, just use another database. It's going to be more straightforward. And if you want to, you can mess around with like indexing your data as an array and then try array contains, but that all doesn't really work. You can do a character hack by adding this tilde thing. You can also do like a trigram fuzzy search, but at the end of the day, you're just saving a lot more data in Firebase and Firestore. And yeah, it's just kind of sad that they don't support this. And that's also just one of the reasons I just want to go away from that. The Google team is also kind of moving away from Firestore and then the more developer-friendly products. It's all about AI these days and vibe coding, and I'm just not feeling it. And it's a Google product. It could get killed any moment for all they care. Firebase also has like bugs, and if you have a bug, you're just, you're on your own. Like the team is not going to care as long as you're not a paid customer or anything. And one of these is like a current bug I have with notifications, where my service worker is getting unsubscribed for some reason. PocketBase will give you more control when it comes to these kind of things. And I gotta claim PocketBase is the silver bullet here. It's one guy really, and he just made a wonderful UX-wise tool. You can collect together some tables, which is mostly all you want. There's good documentation to extend all this. Couple of things aren't there, so I will need to provide some custom code to do exactly what I had in Firebase. I want to explore it. Like for small applications, this probably is a slam dunk go-to. And when it comes to the single page application, I want to swap that for React Server Components. I wasn't really thrilled when I first announced Server Components. I was like, wait, we're going to do all this in a Node backend server?
You serious?
But eventually I came around to this idea, because you have to give React Server Components a try until you really grasp where it shines. And I must say that user experience wise, it does a lot of things right. I had a change of heart by using, I have 20 users. I don't think performance is going to be my bottleneck here. I am planning to use Bun as a runtime. So the idea is vaguely that I have my PocketBase binary and my Bun application, and I can just ship all that into one Docker container. That's roughly what I'm thinking about right now. Overall, Bun is really pretty fast, and I don't think that JavaScript as a whole is not going to be the problem in this toy application. Another argument to use React Server Components is fetch on render, and I am one of those people that just did that and never thought twice about it. For example, the leaderboard application, when we look at the code here, I used style components because at the time I thought it was a good idea. I'm leaning more towards Tailwind in this rewrite. Basically, the first thing we do is a use effect call. We're going to fetch the data from our Firebase, and then based on if the data is already there, we're going to show a loader, or we're going to render the table. And this is exactly like the poor user experience that React Server Components is trying to solve. The user needs to wait until the client files are downloaded, until React done all its bootstrapping magic. Then it shows a spinner, and then it shows your data. Like, that whole experience is kind of poor. If the user needs to wait either way, you can get around that. But at the very least, if it's waiting in the browser and then you just instantly have something, that's going to be a nicer experience. And that's what Server Components will solve. When it comes to F# and Fable, they're wonderful things, but I want to try something new here. I have a bit of critique when it comes to .NET that it's kind of slow, and it's also kind of complicated to get going. You need two package managers. In this case, F#, the file order matters, but you need to specify that by hand. We have package references on the .NET side. We're using dependencies on the NPM side. ReScript has a nicer developer experience when it comes to these things. You install the compiler via NPM and just get going. And ReScript has curly braces. I had a change of heart. I like curly braces now. I've I've also been contributing to ReScript of late. It's a wonderful place to be in, very appreciative crowd. And yeah, if you scratch your own itch, if you fix something, you'll get a release shortly after, and then you can just, do your own stuff again. Thanks for watching. Obviously, we're just setting the stage here and some more technical content will follow. Let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular you want to see highlighted. And that being said, until we meet again.